is NTV. This is NTV. This is NTV. This is NTV. This is NTV.
Combination here, y'all. Feel it. The revolution will be televised. Feel me.
Come on. She with shampoos a lot. Several mornings she shampoos my locks. Always have my back, she stand true to that. Real type of loving, thank you for that. Yo, run barefoot without the shoes and socks. Cause she keep herself clean, man, I got catch no rush.
Katwekube wakati mu kisinde tugalabe mu bujjuvu bwago nga batugakunganyiza mu nkola yaffe yafuuka eyakalagaane tutandika na bikulu. Charles Ganke Taylor yali president wa Liberia asibiddwa emyaka 50. Ettemu embale omukazi afumise bbeekiso n'amutta yeetutte ku poliisi. Amasasi ne tiyagasi binyoose emitiyana poliisi etaasiza omutuuze.
Nze kulanga ndowooza nti ndi fit kubanga
mu mizannyo Onyanga agamba ali bulindaala mu gwa Uganda Cranes na Angola. NTV Akawungeezi nkwaniriza natenze Frank Walusimbi. Katusooke ne Charles McCarthy Ganke Taylor omusajja w'emyaka 64 afuuse omuntu yaliko omukulembeze w'eggwanga asoose okusingibwa emisango egyekuusa ku bikolobero by'omu ntalo. Taylor yali president wa Liberia okutuuka mu 2003. Akitegedde leero nti wakumala emyaka 50 mu kkomera lwakubeera kitundu ku nteekateeka y'okutemula abantu, okukwata abakazi, okuwamba abantu n'ebirala ebifaananako bwe bityo. abalamuzi ba kkooti y'ensi yonna babuulidde Taylor nti yali abeere kyakulabirako eri abakulembeze abalala nti ate era yali awo olukwe mu bantu ba Liberia abaali bamwesize okukola emirimu wakati mu bulambulukufu n'obulungamu obusingayo.
Mwezi oguwedde kkooti yazuula nti Taylor yayambako nnyo abayeekera ba Revolutionary United Front abaali balwanyisa gavumenti ya Sierra Leone wakati wa 1991 ne 2002. Abayeekera bano baavaako abantu 5,000 okufa. Abantu abamu baatemwako amagulu n'emikono, abalala ne baggyibwamu emitima era olugambo lwayitingana nti ebitundu bino abayeekera baali babirya. Okutuuka okujja mu buyinza, Taylor yasooka kulwana lutalo lwa kiyeekera era gavumenti ye n'eragira yali President Samuel Doe attibwe. Okuwagira olutalo mu Sierra Leone kyakyayisa nnyo Taylor ewuwe, abantu ne bakolamu omulimu ne bamugoba mu 2003 oluvannyuma kkooti y'ensi yonna n'eragira akwatibwe. Oludda oluwaabi lwabadde lwagala Taylor asibwe emyaka 8 naye abalamuzi ne bagamba nti emyaka 5 gajja kumumalamu bulungi ettumba. Taylor alina emyaka 64. Alumiriza nti ye talina kikolobero kye yakola okujjako nti bamupangira abajulizi bamulumirize. Abajulizi bangi balumiriza Taylor nti yawanga abayeekera emmundu ne bamuwa amayinja ag'omuwendo aga diamonds. Asuubirwa okujulira wabula singa naye gumusingirayo ekibonerezo kye ajja kukikolera mulimu ku makomera e Bungereza.
NTV Akawungeezi okukomawo kuno okwaffe Embale abayo bakyewunya omukazi eyazze kubba gwalinamu abaana 6 n'amufumita ekiso ekyamutiddewo. Bombi bano babadde bava kunywamu kyokka bafunye obutakkaanya naye omukazi n'asalawo okukwata kiso bw'atyo n'atta omusajja ono mu maaso g'abaana n'abazzukulu.
Ettemu lino lyabadde ku kyalo Marare e Bukasacha. Eggulo Paul Watwati ow'emyaka 65 yatutte mukyala we Florence Kakai owana mwena okwewaamu nga bwe babadde bakola bulijjo. Ku ssaawa 4 ez'ekiro baakomyewo nga batamidde era nga bayomba. Kigambibwa nti oluyombo lwabadde lw'amaanyi olwazuukusiza n'abaana. Mu busungu obungi omukazi yakutte akaso n'afumita bba mu nsingo.
We bamusibise mu nsingo omusiba guno ogw'amaanyi ogutwala omusaayi ku butwe. Omusaayi gwafulumye mungi nnyo era nga obumulabye ebifaananyi we bimukwase nti yatutteko ebbanga litono nnyo n'amala n'afa. Era abatuuze we bagenze okujja ng'ekiso kikyamuli mu bulago naye nga omusajja obulamu tabulina.
Bino byabaddewo ng'abaana balaba naye tebaasobodde kutaasa kitaabwe. Mu nnyumba mwe yafiiridde nga wayise eddakiika ntono nnyo. Omukyala yadduse mangu neyewaabira mu obuyinza abamuggalidde nga kati bateekateeka kumuggulako gwa butemu. Bano balina abaana 6 era kigambibwa nti babadde banywi ba lujuuju.
Si kirungi kubanga mwena munywa mu maka. Taata waabanywa kyetaaze maama akendeze ku kunywa. Kuba bonna bwe baba batamidde kyandiba kizibu nnyo okulabako ani agenda okubawulako munne.
Poliisi omulambo egututte gwongera okwekebejjebwa wabula nga abatuuze basigadde beewuunaganya.
NTV Akawungeezi Kamwocha okuliraana ne Kampala wakati abaayo basanze omulambo gw'omuzungu omu Denmark abadde ayitibwa Camp Richard Klaus. Omuntu ono yafiira mu nnyumba era kirowoozebwa nti ennaku nga 2 eziyiseewo. Yafiira mu nnyumba naye nga kirabika we yafiira yali alaba TV kubanga esangiddwako nga eraga bifaananyi. Abakulu okuva ku kitebe kya Denmark batuuseeko mu kifo omugenzi ono abadde abeera kwongera okwetegereza embeera.
Pressure yamukubye ate nga abadde asula yekka era mutenda gwasula sine badde manage kode ye tutte mulago.
Munnamawulire Otim Patrick yali akolera ku Mega FM eggulu ne banne abalala 12 babadde bavunaanibwa omusango ogw'okugezaako okuvuunika gavumenti eya kuno. Kkooti enkulu mu Kampala ebayimbudde. Omulamuzi David Wangusi yagobye omusango nga ensonga gyawa nti tewali bujulizi bumala ku bantu bano. bonna bano bakwatibwa mu mwaka gwa 2009.
Omulamuzi Patrick Wangutuso wa kkooti enkulu mu Kampala oluvannyuma lw'emyezi 3 ng'awulira omusango guno akizudde nti oludda oluwaabi lwalemererwa okuleeta obujulizi obuluma abasibe bano okusobola okubasingisa omusango. Omuwabi wa gavumenti Joan Kagezi ategeezezza kkooti nga bwe bakozesa ebyuma ebinoonyereza okusobola okuzuula emmundu 7 ezigambibwa okuba nti zaalina bawawaabirwa. Bannamateeka babawawaabirwa omubadde Daudi Sirausi Lwakafuuzi, Yunusu Kasirivu ne Musa Sembajja bategeezezza kkooti nga abasibe bano bwe batalina musango oluvannyuma lw'abajulizi abaaleetebwa mu musango guno okutegeeza nga bwe batakyajjukira bulungi basibe bano mu bujulizi bwabwe. Omulamuzi era ategeezezza nti oludda oluwaabi lwaleeta obujulizi obwalimu obulimba. Abakwate bano okuli Patrick Otim, Patrick Omakechi, Alex Okoti n'abalala bategezeza nga bwe bagenda okuwabira gavumenti olw'okubasibira obwereere.
I'm going to sue government over my illegal detention, defamation and torture.
Tugenda kuwaba omusango tusabe gavumenti ebaliyira wakiri biliyoni buli omu olw'emyaka 3 gye bamaze mu kkomera nga abasibiddwa obwemage.
Abateereddwa bano kigambibwa nti bazze omusango guno wakati w'omwaka gwa 2006 ne 2009 mu bitundu ebyenjawulo omwali Kampala, Masindi, Gulu, Padeo, Kitugumu n'ebitundu ebirala gye bagambibwa okuba nti baali batonzeewo ekibiina ky'abayeekera ekya Popular Patriotic Front. Dini Lubowa Sava, NTV Akawungeezi.
Weewaawo amasasi ne tiya gaasi binyokedde ku kyalo Miscellaneous emitiana. Poliisi babadde egezaako okugumbulula abatuuze ababadde batamye nga baagala okutta omutuuze omu gwe balumiriza okugula amayembe. Katufune bimu ku bibadde emitiana.
Akasambatuko kano katuusewo leero wakati w'essaawa 2:05 ez'okumakya abatuuze bwe beesaza akajegere nga baagala okutta omusuubuzi gwe babadde balumiriza okuba n'amayembe agabatuga buli kiro.
Atambula agende ekyantuukako sagala kituuka ku mulala.
Wabula wadde ebyo byonna byogeddwa era n'asegulira ekyalo wabaddewo abamuwolereza nga bagamba nti talina mayembe.
Babadde ku kyalo kulonga mupakasi yapakasaako byakola edduuka bagamba nti edduuka yokereri ery'amaanyi ateeka okuba nga muti.
Gye buvuddeko abatuuze bano baasinzira mu lukiiko lw'ekyalo ne bagoba Namugenyi n'ebba ku kyalo kuno saako koona ennyumba yaabwe nga babalanga okuba n'amayembe agabatigomya, ekintu ekyawaliriza Namugenyi okwekubira enduulu eri ab'obuyinza. Era wano olunaku lw'eggulo poliisi we yasinzidde n'eyita olukiiko lw'ekyalo okusobola okusonyiwa Namugenyi, kyokka nawe lwawedde abatuuze tebakkaanyiza na poliisi.
Ekyakuleese mu by'osomesezza obadde oyagala tuyige ofuna bulungi kati mbuuza ejjembe gyeriri wali olirabyeko oba tolirabangako kakati gwe by'otandise okunnyonnyola amateeka omutali jjembe.
Era wano abatuuze bagenze butereevu mu luggya lwa Namugenyi ne bakumamu ekyoto nga bwe balinda omusawo okujja okumalawo ebyokuwola bino. Wabula babadde bakyakola effujjo nga bwe baweeranga bwe bagenda n'okumujjambula mu bwensi singa tagulawo nnyumba. Poliisi kwe kubagugumbulula.
Ebyo bibadde Miscellaneous emitiana. NTV Akawungeezi tukyagenda mu maaso eddakiika ziweze 9 eziyise ku ssaawa yemu tukomawo n'ekitundu ekyokubiri tovaawo. Ssente z'abavubuka ez'okwekulaakulanya KCCA yetadde obuwumbi 3. Emizimu ejjinja abayizi ba St. Mark bataataaganyiziddwa.
This is NTV. This is NTV. is NTV. This 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 is NTV.
Dakiika 13 tukyabambaga banywanyi mu mawulire amalala ssente z'abavubuka ez'okwekulaakulanya ez'abawebwa gavumenti mu mwaka gw'ebyensimbi 2011-2012 zoogezza abantu ebikankana. Abamu bagamba nti ssente zino tewali kye zigenda kubayamba olw'obukwakulizo obungi obwaziteekebwako. Abamu batuuse n'okugamba nti mu banka ssente zino teziriiyo olw'engeri gye babatambuza obwoya kumpi ne butuuka okubaggwa ku ntumbwe. Omusasi waffe alina byafunye ebikwata ku bafunye ssente zino n'abatanaba kuzikonga luso.
Abavubuka 3,996 bokka mu ggombolola 5 ezikola Kampala KCCA begenda okusooka okuwa ssente ez'okwekulaakulanya. Bano bamaze dda okusunsulwamu abo abaasaba era bagenda kuyita mu kutendekebwa mu ngeri gye basobola okuzikozesaamu.
Nga groups ezisooka ze tugenda okukola nazo endagaano tugenda kukola ku lunaku lwa bbalaza. Kati bwe tumala okukola endagaano ne group yonna kitegeeza nti tuyingidde mu nkolagana eri binding. Tetusobola kugamba nti ate gwe tetujja kuwa oba togenda kufuna ssente.
Mulonda ayongedde okukikkaatiriza nti obukwakulizo obuli ku ssente za KCCA zino bwawukanira ddala ku zaateekebwa mu bbanka, ensonga lwaki abavubuka bangi abaasaba oba oliawo tebasobodde kuyitamu.
Omuntu asaba ne bizinesi gy'asaba byombi birina okuba nga biri mu divisions 5 ez'e Kampala. Ekyokulabirako nti omuntu ayinza okuba nga akolera mu katale ka ssente bali ku ddembe mwayagala okukolera naye ng'abeera kawempe oyo ye tumuwa ssente naye ate waliwo omulala ng'ayinza okubakolera mu ssente bali ku ddembe naye ng'abeera iganga oyo ye tetukola ki titumuwa ssente.
Olwaleero KCCA lwekomekkerezza okukkiriza abavubuka abasaba ssente okutuusa omutendera ogunaddako nga guno gwakubaawo nga bano abasoose okufuna bazikomezzaawo. Ssente zino okuva lwe zaateekebwawo abavubuka n'abakulembeze baabwe bazoogeredde ebikankana nga n'olwakasembayo ababaka ba paalamenti bawa minisita w'ebyensimbi nsaleesale wa nnaku 3 okuta ssente zino oba si kyo waakulaba akabafaamu.
Abaana mu ssomero lya St Mark Secondary School Jinja tebakyasoma olw'ebintu bye bayita emizimu ebibayigganya. Kigambibwa nti abaana 7 be baakakwatibwa ebintu bino era nga buli lwe ebibalinnya bakyankalanya essomero lyonna.
Abaana mu ssomero lino erya St Mark Secondary School Jinja basomera mu kutya olw'abannaabwe abatera okuva mu mbeera ku bye bagamba nti baba balinnyiddwako amayembe. Abayizi bagamba nti bibadde bisiriikiriddemu kyokka okuva ku lunaku olw'omukaaga embeera eyongedde okwonooneka era ng'omuntu abadde obulungi atandika mpola okuva mu mbeera era bwe wayita eddakiika ng'omuntu bwemubadde munyumya obulungi temukyamutegeera.
Basooka kubejjegala ne gabanga amayembe then we kiba kivudde ku ekyo balala ne basikondoka balala omulabulabi kufubutuka kukola ki kudduka yabeera n'amaanyi mangi nga temusobola kukola ki kumukwata.
Nempulira amaloboozi wansi eyo ku ssomero abaana abakola ki
babalekana abamu baboggolanga mbwa.
Wano olumu bamaliriza balinako n'ebintu by'essomero bye boonoonye ssaako kukyankalanya essomero lyonna.
Sometimes bibakwatanga tuli mu bibuuzo bayuza pepazi zaffe naye tutakola bibuuzo ebimu bibakwata bayingira mu kiraasi ne bayuza ebitabo byaffe.
Abaana abakoseddwa baddiziddwayo ewaabwe kyokka bagamba nti biva ku ssomero eribalinaanye erya Namenya High.
Bayongeza school fees kati bwe bavaako ne bajja ate eno kirabika abakulu b'essomero bakibayisa bubi.
Wabula nnyini ssomero omusongeddwa olunwe bino abisambaze.
Ndi mukristu bazi mukristu tusaba eby'omuzimu tetubimanyiiko sibimanyiiko.
Poliisi egamba nti wadde yalabye abaana nga bavudde mu mbeera abakulira essomero lya Mark tebannavaayo mu butongole kuleeta nsonga eno ku poliisi.
NTV Akawungeezi olwaleero ababaka banaakiikirira Uganda mu paalamenti ya East Africa balondeddwa. Aba FDC bo tebeetabye mu kulonda kuno olw'omusango gwe batwala mu kooti. Bannabibiina bonna baali basazeewo obuteetaba mu kulonda kuno kyokka olw'okuba nti waliwo abamu abakwetabyemu. Akulira oludda oluwabula gavumenti mu paalamenti Nandala Mafabi agambye nti baminisita ab'oludda oluwabuzi abakwetabyemu agenda kubagoba ku bukulu. Ye ssentebe wa Conservative Party CP Kenny Luchamuzi yekandaze n'afuluma paalamenti ng'agamba nti erinnya ly'omuntu eriweereddwayo ku lw'ekibiina talimanyi era ekitegeeza nti n'omuntu ono tamumanyi. Okubala obululu bwe tujjidde ku mpewo okubadde kukyagenda mu maaso.
Engamye kusaawa eno wetwogerera enkolagana yaffe wakati ne UPC ne DP tikyaliwo tugisuspendeze naye abantu baffe bali mu shadow cabinet ne komiti zaffe abakulira abatali mu FDC tuli ku review tugenda abamu tugenda kubajjayo tumanyi ti mu DP ne mu UPC mulimu abantu abalungi naye abasinga abamu tebalungi sobola batugenda kusalawo ani bwe twasobola okolagana naye ng'omuntu nesinga pati.
Ekyokubiri sirowooza nti wabaddewo okulonda gubadde mukolo nga wolaba omukolo gw'okwalula abalongo wano mu Buganda bwe mutabaalula abalongo tebagaana kukula. Kati kino ekyokuba nti tuzze mu paalamenti n'ofuna NRM nejja n'ababaka baayo 6 ng'egerako 6 ne bagamba mulondeko. Kati oyo katemba sirowooza nti omuntu yenna nga kyakola akimanyi ekyebyobufuzi ayinza omwetabamu. Era limwe kwadde abaka 6 eyagalako 6 ne gamba ndilondako. Ate neekola kintu kyekimu ne opposition mu kumanya bali mu butamanya nayo neegirondera ababaka. Akati nze ndowooza nti yabadde ensobi nnene nnyo ebibiina ebiri ku ludda oluvuganya okugenda mu kintu kino nga tebimaze kukkaanya.
Nga ntegeeza nti omwami Kayondo agambibwa nti yabadde nominated ekibiina ekikulu ekya NEEK akakiiko akakulu aka NEEK tikannaba mukakasa bw'oba ng'ogendedde ku pulezidenti lwaki aba NRM bo batuuse n'okuba akalulu ne babakubako akalulu abantu omukaaga. Lwaki owa CP tiyakubiddwako kalulu abaneke abafuga olukiiko olukulu olwa Conservative Party ng'ogamba tugenda mu maaso ebintu bibasaze balabye nnyo mbasekeredde to hell with them.
Kenny Ruchamuzi akulira ekibiina ki CP ng'annyonnyola lwaki yeekandaze n'afuluma olukiiko. Ng'olunaku lw'abajulizi lusembera bakristu emitiyana baakedde kulamaga ku ekereziya eyitibwa St. Matiya Mulumba ku kyalo Butega. Omu ku bajulizi Matiya Mulumba yali mutuuze ku kyalo kino era kigambibwa nti kwe yazaalibwa. Yagenda okufa nga akoze omulimu munene okukyusa abantu okubazza mu ddiini. Matiya Mulumba omujulizi ono yazimbibwa ekereziya entongole ku Old Kampala. Ebyo bibadde Butega mu bitundu eby'emitiyana ku ddakiika 20 eziyise ku ssaawa emu. Katulabe akatale k'ensimbi nga bwe kabadde Kampala.
This is NTV.
Okugula $, pound sterling, euro ne sente endala ebyo nkiwa bitegerekese bulungi. NTV Akawungeezi ekyagenda mu maaso. Tukomawo n'amawulire ag'ebyemizannyo girobera naffe.
This is NTV. 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 This is NTV.
Yamizannyo ku NTV Akawungeezi. Omukwasi wa goal ya Uganda Cranes Dennis Onyango tatandise okutendekebwa olwaleero ne banne oluvannyuma lw'okutuuka mu ggwanga olunaku olwajjo. Onyango azanyira mu South Africa era olutuuse mu nkambi n'ategeeza nti ali mu mbeera nnungi era mwetegefu nnyo okunyiga emipiira gyonna Angola gye n'aweereza ku ludda lwa Cranes.
Ebimu ku bintu ttiimu ya Uganda Cranes byetaaga okusobola okudda n'obuwanguzi okuva mu ggwanga lya Angola gwe mutindo gw'omukwasi wa goal Dennis Onyango. Onyango asambira mu ttiimu ya Sundowns ya South Africa ategeezezza bannamawulire olwaleero nti wadde ng'abadde takwatira kiraabu ye omutindo gwagwekakasa nti gujja kutuusa Cranes ku buwanguzi.
Nze kubanga ndowooza nti ndi fit kubanga sandibadde wano nga siri fit. Nina erinnya lyemprotectinga nti mbadde ku national team ebbanga eriwera ate mbaddemu n'ebizibu bingi olumu nkoze bulungi, so ndowooza nti bwe nzija nga siri fit ndowooza mba erinnya lyange mba nze kennyini mbanga alyonoona kuba mbanzirira omuntu omulala omukisa gw'okusambira national teams.
Onyango yegasse ku kwenza olunaku lwa jjo wamu ne Moses Soloya ne Brian Omonyi. Y'omuduumizi wa ttiimu eno Ande Mwesigwa wakutuuka mu ggwanga ekiro kya leero so nga Tony Mawejje ne Abedaira basuubirwa okutuuka olunaku lw'enkya. Ttiimu yakusimbula ku lwokutaano lwa ssabbiiti eno nga bukya. Sam Mpoza, NTV Akawungeezi.
Ebyemizannyo nabyo bwe bityo bwe bigenze. Wano we Kampala wetusinzira okuweereza bino byonna olwaleero omusana gwase mu bitundu bingi ebyetoolodde Kampala ng'era n'ebitundu ebimu ebiri mu mambuka g'eggwanga omusana gubadde gwakira ddala olunaku olwaleero lwonna. Twagala tulabe olunaku olwokuna nga bwe lunaabeera. NTV Akawungeezi bwetyo bwegenze. Mwebale kubeera naffe yonna gye musinzira okulaba. Tubeeyanza, temukoowa, temujjanga okuba naffe. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Bwe bityo bwe bigenze nzikiriza mulina kye mufunyeemu mu gaaleero. Anti munnanga awagwa ekkuute wabula bulondererwa. Bubeera bukibbo, babuyita bukukululu. Nze Frank Walusimbi mbasiibudde.
Zebras belong to the horse family and are best known for their distinctive white and black stripes, with each zebra having its own unique pattern of stripes, just like fingerprints. There are 3 species of zebra: the plain zebra, gravy zebra, and the mountain zebra. Zebras generally stand from 4 to 5 feet at the shoulder and weigh around 300 kilograms. The largest species, gravy zebra, can weigh up to 450 kilograms. Zebras can be found in a variety of habitats, such as grasslands, savannas, woodlands, thorny scrublands, mountains, and coastal hills. When the group is alarmed, it takes to flight with the first 5 dominant females or mares in the front and the stallions bringing up the rear. Like horses, zebras walk, trot, canter, and gallop. They are generally slower than horses, but their great stamina helps them to outpace their predators. Bachelor males either live alone of other bachelors until they're old enough to challenge a breeding stallion. Like most animal species, female zebras mature earlier than males, and a mare may have her first foal by the age of 3. Zebras have a gestation period of 12 months. Zebras have a lifespan of 20 years.
Today on Showcase, a sojourn through the magnificent wonders of the Rwenzori region. After taking in the delightful scenes of the Fort Portal town, it is with anticipation that we make our way to Kabarole Tours and Travels to make arrangements for exploring the profound wonders nature has to offer in this district. Here, you can organize for a 4-wheel drive car which will venture into the wilds of Bundibugyo. You can also hire a boat to traverse the wondrous waters of Lake Albert or a bicycle to experience the refreshing mountain breezes and get a real feel of the countryside. In case you need to get away with tangible memories of your wonderful stay in Kabarole, various artifacts and crafts depicting the culture of the people are available. Our first destination is the famous Amabere Ganina Mwiru Caves, which is found in Nyakasura. The route to the caves is along the Fort Portal Bundibugyo Road, punctuated. In the distance, the terrain of Bundibugyo district is spectacular. Bundibugyo was part of the Toro Kingdom and later Toro district after the abolition of kingdoms. In 1980, it gained district status and covers a total area of 2,338 square kilometers, which includes open waters, swamps and rivers, mountains, forests, national parks, Semiliki and Mount Rwenzori, and forest reserves. 5 square kilometers is covered by game reserves, while 380 square kilometers is used for agriculture. A bimodal rainforest features, in addition to other resources like minerals and physical features, which make the district an outstanding tourist center. As we move along the bumpy Fort Portal Bundibugyo Road on our way to the caves, the route meanders through the rugged terrain of the Rwenzori escarpment and will set your adrenaline rushing as you traverse the magnificent hills and gorgeous steep valleys. We finally arrive in Nyakasura, which is 10 kilometers away from Fort Portal town and is the traditional home of the Batwezi, who were believed to be demigods and lived in the 13th and 14th centuries. We venture through the dense, slippery undergrowth down the narrow winding path that leads to the caves. Our entree into the green world of moss and fan is heralded by such beauty and calm that we're completely overwhelmed. Hanging rock pillars broken down by chemical reaction between water and salt in the course of the years have formed breast-like pointed small pillars from which a greyish watery substance slowly trickles every few seconds. The white substance represents breast milk. These, coupled with overhanging climbers intertwined with rocks, provide such beautiful scenery that we are left breathless.
Now where we are, these are the caves which we name as the Amabere caves. And the reason as to why they were named as Amabere is that when you look up here, you see that most of those formations are just like the nipples of the breasts. And they named them as the breasts of Nyinamwiru because it's believed that this place was at one time dominated by the Bachwezi people, and that when Nyinamwiru got pregnant, the father, King Bukuku, ordered that the child should be thrown away. And when he was thrown, it is believed that someone who picked him, who was called Ruvumbi, that this Ruvumbi could bring him on these nipple-like formations to breastfeed him on this milky water that you will see dripping out of these. So that's why they were named as the breasts of Nyinamwiru. This rock you see is just made up of lime. It's a limestone rock, and it's a porous rock. And this water you see dripping out of it is hard water, which contains calcium carbonate. And as this water percolates, carbon dioxide is being dissolved, and we then have a solution of calcium bicarbonate, whereby when that solution comes out, it settles there for a period of time. And during that process, there is evaporation. Carbon dioxide evaporates, leaving behind only calcium carbonate, which calcium carbonate keeps on being deposited to the other calcium carbonate, and it keeps on hardening and increasing in size, coming down. Increment in size, that's why we say that it is forming something which we term as a stalactite. And the stalactites are those upper formations on the surface of the cave, on the upper surface of the cave. And when that same water drops down, this time it joins to form what we term as a stalagmite. So the stalagmites are the ones that come out from the bottom of the cave. They keep on coming upwards while the stalactites keep on coming downwards. And those two keep on forming like that knot until they join. And when they join, they form up one thing like or an earth pillar, which is well built by calcium carbonate, which calcium carbonate builds our bones or all our teeth. This is the same thing you see forming up these things here.
Just above the caves, the steaming sounds of the magnificent waterfalls beckon. Flying over the caves and adding to the wondrous atmosphere of the site, the sprays here are refreshing.
That waterfall we have been seeing is what we term as Nyakasura waterfall, and the river where that water comes from is called River Kamuteve, which is up there, and it originates from Mountain Rwenzori. So from here we term it as Nyakasura River, not until it joins to one of the biggest rivers within Fort Portal town, which is called River Panga.
When Showcase Uganda returns, we get a first-hand view of the abundant game and wildlife of Semiliki Wild Reserve and the magnificent Lake Albert. From the caves, we push through the lush slippery foliage to our next destination, the crater lakes, which are another attractive feature of the region. On your way to the lakes, you will encounter gorgeous and captivating scenery of hills and valleys. Among all these, Kiganywa Hill stands out. This steep hill is also named after the locals' experience while climbing it. Kiganywa implies that people of the area hate climbing it because of its steepness compared to other hills surrounding these lakes. Our next encounter is a dried up or dormant crater lake, locally known as Kaigodi, which is circular and covered by greenery, evidence that it's defunct. In the distance, about a kilometer away, is Lake Kigere. This famous lake is 1,050 meters deep and named after its physical features as it resembles the shape of a human foot. Rebikere Crater Lake, sited at the left-hand side of Lake Kigere, is also named after its historical memories from locals of the unique frog species which were common from this lake. After an overly captivating though tiring day, we make our way back to the camp. At the campsite, the scenery and tranquility are simply overpowering. This is a home to a local resident, Rubo Mbora. Set in a quiet atmosphere, this home is reasonably furnished for your accommodation, or you can pitch a tent in the available campsites for a fee of only 5,000 shillings. Besides, there are also well-tiled cottages that go up to 50,000 Ugandan shillings. In this environment, visitors can enjoy the natural fresh breezes of Nyakasura village. For nature lovers, this is a place with an abundance of chaste nature in its different forms. It is ideal to spend a few days and get a real feel of the true African jungle. It is only natural that our next destination would be the Semiliki Valley Wildlife Reserve. It lies in the western Rift Valley between the Rwenzori Mountains and Lake Albert. After traveling through miles of captivating steep green hills, we soon make our way across acacia woodland dotted with borasas palms. Formerly called the Toro Game Reserve, Semiliki Valley Wildlife Reserve is the oldest protected area in Uganda. It is unique, gifted with geographic balance including forest, riverine, swamp, grassland bush, and extensive woodland which have formed a lush natural haven with a huge array of fauna. The Ugandan kob is by far the commonest mammal in the reserve. It is a pleasure to encounter in its natural environment this graceful animal. We find the animals in their mating grounds known as lakes. Here, each male marks its own territory with its own females and will defend it from any other male invader. Male territories are smallest and most highly contested in the center of the lake, where most matings occur. These territories are most popular among the females in spite of rapid male turnover. Here in the jungle law prevails. Survival of the fittest, and thus the female cobs which only visit the lakes to breed will mate with only the strongest males in order to produce offspring which will survive in the wilds. In areas of lower population density, males are spaced further apart and hold their territories for longer periods of time. As we cruise through the woodland, we soon come upon the warthog. Warthogs are identified by the two pairs of tusks protruding from their mouth, which are used as weapons against predators. The male warthog tends to live alone or in a small bachelor group with individuals that come and go, but they tend to stay within their natal range. Another mammal prolific in Semiliki Wildlife Reserve is the monkey. The reserve hosts 8 species of primates, including Mona monkeys, blue monkeys, and velvet monkeys. The sight before our eyes is truly enchanting, as the monkey apparently unconcerned about our interest, keeping up an incessant chattering which we found quite engaging. One seemed particularly intrigued by our presence and treated us to some amusing antics. We reluctantly left the monkeys to their chattering as we hurried to catch up with the abundant bird life. The Semiliki Wildlife Reserve is home to over 400 bird species. This rich habitat of grassland, savanna, forest and wetland hosts 35% of Uganda's bird species, some of which cannot be found elsewhere in East Africa, such as the hornbill and the lyre-tailed honeyguide. Other species include the African pygmy goose, red-necked falcon, Abyssinian ground hornbill, blue-breasted bee-eater, black-billed barbet, and the black-chinned quail finch. In order to catch a glimpse of the incredible and rare shoebill stock and to have a truly thrilling tropical experience, we undertook a boat ride on the unimaginable Lake Albert. We were not disappointed. The lake lay before us in all its splendor, a superb work of nature. Racing over the glistening waters of the lake in a local motorboat, overhung by the magnificent mountains on the shore, is an exhilarating experience. Here you can get to see more bird species as colonies keep darting in and out of their nests and spreading. All too soon, we spy the rare shoebill stock, which can be viewed regularly on the lake. We move closer to get our feel of this legendary elegant bird. The shoebill is its bill, which is quite big and has the structure of a human foot ending in a ferocious nail. Long in the leg and broad in the wing, it stands well over a meter high and is dressed in blue-gray with yellow eyes. Another delightful sight is the crested crane, which is the national bird of Uganda and as such adorns the center of a flag and stands on one leg facing the flagpole. Here in the wild, as you take in its profusion of colors, you cannot fail to see why it deserves its lofty stature in representing Uganda's beauty. As we cruise in the waters, we meet the occasional fishermen who are part of the local community and have made the lake their livelihood. An evening out on the lake is something you should not miss. The sight of the fishermen disappearing into the dusk and the shimmering waters of Lake Albert is an unforgettable experience. When we leave after a few days in this paradise with its mountains, the impressive scenic views of meandering Semiliki River, fuming hot springs, and the tropical rainforest extending to it, there is no doubt in our minds that this indeed is a true nature lover's heaven. When Showcase returns, experience the relaxing atmosphere of Fort Portal with its rhythmic sounds of traditional dancing. On a Friday, after enjoying the profound beauties within Semiliki Game Reserve, you can travel back to Fort Portal town. If you're a Muslim, it's never late for a prayer. Fort Portal Main Mosque is open till 7 p.m. in the evening. Located 15 meters from town, this mosque is a meeting point for most Muslims in the area. For Seventh-day Adventists, the church is only half a kilometer from Fort Portal town to Kagote Hill. Here, the believers of the Sabbath gather and worship the Almighty. As the saying goes for the young generation, unity in diversity is the way to go. Sunday morning is more exciting when queues of local residents rush to worship. For Catholics, you can catch a prayer at the Virika Central Church. This place of worship is a pool of all people of this faith within its vicinity. Apart from the Virika, St. John's Cathedral widely opens its doors for Protestants and Pentecostals, and it's being rated as more accommodating. Here in Fort Portal, there is something for everyone. So please don't miss to worship. Just 5 meters from Mpanga Market and about half a kilometer from the town center, you finally arrive at the Toro Golf Club. On a Sunday after prayers, if you wish to take a break from the excursions into the wilds and you're an ardent golfer, this is just the place to be. The club kept greens, professional caddies, and accommodating memberships. In fact, the club is a great place to catch up on your favorite sport. The memorial stone of Sir Gerard Porter's fort, after which the town is named, can also be viewed at this site, now the site of the golf course. It is believed that here, among these stones, lie the footprints of Sir Gerard Porter's men. At the end of your stay in the district, you will be able to carry away with you a wealth of memories of the real Africa. Next week on Showcase Uganda.
This is NTV.
native to Western, Central, Eastern and Southern Africa. It has a reddish-brown shaggy coat which progressively grows darker with maturity and a white bib under the throat. It is generously covered with thin brownish oily grease that has a distinct musky odor. It's easily recognized by a distinctive white band on the rump encircling the tail and the long ball-shaped ringed horns of the male, which go up to 100 centimeters long. The female has no horns. The waterbuck stands up to 1.3 meters at the shoulder and weighs from 160 to 240 kilograms. The waterbuck grows in small herds in marshes, scrub and savanna areas near water where they mainly eat grass and require large quantities of water, hence their partiality to water bodies. The waterbucks share a social life similar to that of the corps. They are territorial and a herd usually has one dominant male with numerous females. Young males form bachelor herds which are a training ground for the bucks to perfect their skills in order to go and fight the dominant male and take over the herd of females. Process, and they will choose a partner according to their horns, which must be the same size. These wrestling matches are preparing them for a major territorial fight with a dominant male in order to take over a leg in the traditional breeding grounds. Waterbucks will give birth to a single calf after a 7 to 8 month gestation period. Waterbucks have a lifespan of 18 years.
This is NTV.
Welcome. Today on the Art and Design Show, we feature Uganda's opera songbirds and shimming up to the Russian. Visual art is rapidly becoming a much wider phenomenon not only in Uganda but worldwide. Recently, MOOBS in conjunction with Baton Rouge organized an art exhibition. We hooked up with Serena, the conference manager, to enlighten us more about the exhibition.
Well, the American community, when they come to Africa, their key interest is in crafts, is in art and crafts. And when they come here, they see it as a way of promoting Ugandans and Africans, and they feel that through crafts, that is the best way they can do it. And so we invite the business community that is dealing in arts and crafts to be able to come here and exhibit their products. We arrange with the business community that has come from the States, so that through that they'll be able to form a linkage and see how can they penetrate the American market, or how can they be assisted on the other side to be able to penetrate the American market and sell, because that is their core interest. This is a consortium of business management and policy. This is core to the success of any business. And Makerere University Business School, that's what we teach. That's what we promote. We want to see how can business succeed, what are the challenges, what are the bottlenecks, and can we find a way forward. We have a linkage with the university, and the co-organizers of these conferences are from that university. So through that linkage with the Makerere University Business School, they agreed that we host this conference this year. The first one was in 1999. They've had 5 other conferences. They've been in South Africa, in Mozambique, in Senegal, in Ghana, and in Ethiopia. This is the 6th, and it is being held in Uganda.
Visual arts and performance go hand in hand, and as such there was a cultural troupe playing cultural music throughout the exhibition. Today on The Flyer, we take you through ways to spend less but follow some of the current hot trends, especially if you have gained a few kilos lately. First, it's imperative to know what colors complement your skin tones. Use the lighter shades for tops and deeper shades for pants and skirts. By using this technique, you'll appear slimmer and attention will be drawn to your face rather than your body. You can also get yourself a whole new look by simply buying a shirt or jacket in this season's new colors or styles and matching it with a pair of pants or a top from your existing wardrobe. You can also save money by taking a pair of pants, cutting and hemming them to a popular length, or you can simply dye your jeans to a popular color. There may be some clothing items in your wardrobe that will need to be replaced. When replacing such items, look for garments that are more classic. It is less expensive to add trendy shirts in popular colors than it is to replace a high-quality pair of pants or jeans. Clothing accessories like jewelry can update and add glamour to any outfit. You do not have to purchase an expensive piece of jewelry to look trendy. Inexpensive yet beautiful jewelry can be found in shops along the streets of Kampala and in the taxi parks. Adding a couple of skirts to your wardrobe is stylish, comfortable, and cool. Skirts are popular this year and you have the length according to your personal style. They can make women feel feminine, pretty, and are a nice change from pants. You can dress skirts up for work or dress them down for an outing. The most popular styles of shirts this season are camisole and cape sleeve made out of soft, stretchy material. And colors that are being worn are brown, coral, berry, cream, pink, peach, sky blue, lilac, yellow, and orange. While choosing shirts of various colors, note that orange, for example, will match only a small number of women's skin tones. Peach, on the other hand, may be a better choice for most women. Most colors can be worn by everyone if they are in the right shades and undertones. By putting various colors up to your face and looking in the mirror, you can see if they work well with your personal skin tones or not. And remember, have your shoes match the color of your belt or handbag. Well, the season is here. Let's go shopping. The music you're hearing is of Western classical origin known as opera. In an opera, a story is expressed through drama, the voice, and musical instruments, and is often accompanied by ornate costumes and sets.
They say if you go to an opera and you don't like it the first time, you'll never like it.
We find the beginning of opera manifesting in the early 1500s with England, France, and of course Italy, each playing a leading role. This saw the rise of several prominent sopranos, tenors, and bass baritones of contemporary times.
First can be like a drinking is not a shame, Bacchus drunk too. Yes, Bacchus drunk too.
This dramatic art form soon spread to the entire world and more recently to Uganda. On the Art and Design show today, we feature Uganda's opera songbirds. They all are different personas with one commonality.
Well, I started doing music as a child. At the age of 9, I joined the Namirembe Cathedral Choir.
Since my primary 3, you know these things.
As early as primary school, I took part in festivals, singing, dancing.
Professionally, that was like 6 years ago. Yeah, 6 years ago, that's when I started reading notes and really working on my voice.
I do sing tenor. So the tenor voice is a middle range. It's really actually a male soprano.
I tell you, neighbor, just watch neighbor, please your registry. Yet I have my daughters on you seeking vain. Yet I have no
Me, I'm a baritone, so I really don't go so low and I don't go so high.
I contend that this boy without a penny asked me for my daughter's hand. It's not much that I can move.
The extraordinary beauty of tone as well as impressive aura and voice is as a result of varying degrees of inspiration and guidance received along the way.
Janet Baker, she has lovely breath control.
Pavarotti. Andrea Bocelli is a blind fellow and he has an amazing voice.
With astounding versatility, they command an impressive breadth of virtually every musical style.
Partiam bel mio da qui.
I play the piano, and I'm learning how to play the violin. It's a hard instrument, but all you need is just learning how to pitch.
I do warm up my voice, and I do this at least an hour a day, so those are 7 hours a week. And then I do is also good for the voice.
When the sun in the morning peeps over the hill and kisses the roses round my windowsill, sweet gladness when I hear the trill of the birds in the treetops and the mockingbird hymn. Tra-la-la, tweet-o-dee-dee-dee, it gives me a thrill to wake up in the morning to the mockingbird's trill.
The exceptional artistry, magnetic stage presence, and voices of surpassing beauty have served to redefine the Ugandan voice category. However, Ben is quick to add that it does not come easy.
The thing of stage, the drama and singing, that is not so easy, because sometimes when you sit and clench your tummy, you're affecting the support. Yeah, so you have to really know what you're doing. You have to rehearse everything. Yeah, it just doesn't come just by a click or a blink of an eye. No, it doesn't.
The golden rule with singing is that if there is any sign, stop.
If you try notes and your voice goes hoarse, that means way.
If even once you've known the feeling of ardent love, its joy and pain.
With this diverse array of young talent in Uganda and infectious enthusiasm of classical music, the sky is truly the limit.
Thanks to you guys, you're here. This is one of the ways that people are going to basically know about opera and that it is there, because some people just watch and say, oh, what is this? I want something funky.
Simba is the newest entrant onto Kampala's entertainment scene. The logo and theme design, architectural elements, lighting, and bold graphics have been used to captivate. For the interior, a spacious, intimate gaming atmosphere has been created that takes the patrons' hassles away and helps them unwind. Palm trees, extensive wall mirrors, and lighting have been used to create a soft, relaxing atmosphere perfect for gambling. Once here, teams will go head-to-head in challenges using slot machines and a variety of table games including poker, blackjack and roulette. The groups are split into 2 to 4 people each. Points and cash are earned by working as a team to master the slots trivia challenge, then the final points of poker, blackjack, roulette and other table games. Recently, Casino Simba opened its doors to the people who love to take risks in life. Our crew was there and now brings you the highlights.
If you know which way to go.
I would like to congratulate Simba Casino, and I'm privileged to launch their beginning in Kampala.
Well, that's it for today's Art and Design show. Remember, the aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but rather their inward significance. Be part of us by sending us mail Our address is artanddesign@ntvuganda.co.ug. Well, join us next week for more. And until then, do enjoy the rest of your viewing.
This is NTV.
The mountain gorilla is considered endangered species, with only about 720 mountain gorillas left in the world. And these live split into two regions: Burundi Impenetrable Forest National Park, Mahinya Gorilla National Park in Uganda, Volcanoes National Park in Rwanda, and Virunga National Park in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Living primates and has a robust build with long muscular arms, a massive chest, and broad hands and feet. Has longer and darker hair than other species, allowing it to live and travel at high altitudes where temperatures drop to below 0 degrees Celsius. The gorillas can be identified by nose prints unique to each individual. Male mountain gorillas stand up to an average height of 6 feet and weigh from 400 to 500 pounds, that is 227 kilograms, making them the largest of the great apes. Adult males are called silverbacks because they develop a streak of silver hair on their backs with maturity. The silverback is the leader and the ultimate protector of his band. The mountain gorilla is most active between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Most of this time is alternated between foraging, eating, and resting. They are herbivores and consume large amounts of vegetation. Adult males can eat up to 34 kilograms of vegetation a day, while a female can eat as much as 18 kilograms. Females reach breeding age at about 10 years old. They typically bear young every 4 to 5 years, giving birth after a gestation period of 8 to 9 months. The mountain gorilla is generally shy but highly social and lives in relatively stable, cohesive groups of up to 35 individuals. These groups are made up of one silverback, 1 or 2 blackbacks, a few mature female juveniles, and infants.
This is NTV.
You just love Kampala City, I'm telling you. Now, conmen have been around for centuries. The thing is, our forefathers have told us stories of how kings were conned out of their land. But the question is this: do they use the same strategies, philosophies, or do they simply have the mindsets of common thieves? I'm telling you, for the next 30 minutes, you're going to have a brief idea or a glimpse on how conmen work. What can I tell you? This is Tricksters. On the last episode of Tricksters, Edwin lost his coin and made off with a passenger's property.
Conductor, hey, madam, check for me. It has fallen under your seat. Once you want to go to Abitano, Nokia.
And how job hunting can be very frustrating.
Can you imagine you've got cool 11M? 11 in the cash. Oh, in the cash.
Eh? That is good. We need to celebrate.
Definitely.
Can we speak of this? You paid your money, but now it's all gone up in smoke. I can't imagine. Hello. Hi, what's going on? You know what? These people advertise jobs, and after collecting our money, they have disappeared.
And tonight, the Tricksters team has Edwin, Albert, Felix, and Dennis. What they're up to, just sit and watch. Coming up on the show, a hot date turns into ashes.
Kakati, Anita ngina soka mtwale mserena. Over mtwale mwanshenwa. I'm going to give her them.
And Richard's triumphant return has a comic ending.
TV. I've got a TV from Kampala. Got a football now. Tumulina. Quality images. From Kampala. TV from TV from Kampala.
Alright, so I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is this: you're about to learn how to keep yourself safe while traveling in a taxi. The bad news is this: conmen who didn't know about this next con are also about to learn how it works. They might use it on you. Whichever way the news lands on you, at least you're learning, right? Love is the greatest of all gifts. It makes the world go round. So, there is nothing better than to enjoy the good things of life with the people we love.
Sheila?
That guy needs to do some more work. But NTV Salvador, man, that was my kind of guy.
That fella. Hey, you know that guy? Can beat a group of gangsters with one hand tied behind his back.
That's what I call a man.
I hear Salvador is back with a new movie on TV.
Oh no!
I wanted to help him.
That explains why my girlfriend has been rushing home every evening, and I thought she was just getting domesticated.
Well, that's a blessing to your
She
pocket.
be all that for me.
You don't need to take her out every evening.
She's my queen.
Come on.
Ah, man.
Get married.
I wish Anita could just allow my pockets to spend on her.
I could marry.
I have just have a whole year
and
and nothing. Now, I've given up on her.
And to love.
I'm a
At your age,
in my past relationship,
open your eyes
and
wide
in my
up.
life, I believe
The field is ripe with gorgeous babes. Hey, you just let Anita go.
Y'all know she ain't got nothing positive to say.
stop. Why don't you leave me a message and I'll check it once I get a password,
Miss Anita.
okay? How about that?
Maybe she wants to go out with me. And I've given up on her. Oh my God, this is wonderful.
Okay, come. Pick up the phone before it stops ringing, yeah?
Hello?
Agree
Yes, yes.
with what she said.
Of course I'm free. No. I was a bit busy. But I can be free.
Okay.
When?
Been so long, I don't think I can remember.
Of course. Let me see. Okay. I'm on my way.
We've been married 53 years, right?
You know what? She wants to go out with me. Yes. Oh boy, she wants to go out with me. Hey, don't let us see that you're so eager. Chicks like playing hard
I
to
married
get.
this sweet little soul
You should do the same.
when I was 25
Otherwise,
years
she will take you for granted. And don't be too
old.
early.
Woman for me.
You just keep her waiting until bit. Yeah.
Guys, I have to go.
He asked me to wait because
What is taking my life?
Hey,
I did.
make sure I don't get banned.
When he came back home, I just knew that
Too much.
In a hurry to meet up with the love of his life, Richard takes the first available taxi. An empty taxi. Well, almost empty.
Boss, tula tugende. Tula, New Park. New Park. Kampala Road.
Neta tutegera kunduza. Arendi mbwa.
We are leaving right now. Sit and we go. Sister Uganda. Jangu tugende. Boss. Mama, jangu tugende. New Park, Kampala Road. Jangu tugende. New Park.
Wait. Don't worry. That's fine. Boss ndamukubidde. Hey, Shishido. Waliwo yasudde sente ze.
Tugambe conductor. Tugambe conductor. He may be knowing where he got out from. Conductor.
Boss, what's wrong with you? Are you okay upstairs? Kakati ate, conductor will take the money and eat it himself.
But what are you suggesting we do? I don't have time to go to the police.
Which police?
God has given us this money. And he has made our day. Tuzilonde tuzitwale.
Tematukwate. Tematukwate. Ate kutukwata. Uno taxi eyingiramu abantu bangi. Kati tulina okukola. We have to get out and share. Tugabane. Wamuno ate kondakita mu taxi ayinza otula.
Kakati. Okay, let's hurry. You have an important date. I'm meeting the woman of my life.
Okay, Ramolaba. And with this money, you can take her either to Angenwa or City. 2 clubs in one night.
Tatuwulira.
Kakati, tukole bwe tuti. Soko zino. Kati nkuwe zino. Okugabanawo wanguwe.
Enkumenya.
Kale ene. Kakati tulina okuvaamu tusharinge.
Akakale.
Okiraba. Naye before, I want to make an ndabe. Mukubireko. The battery, the battery is down. Kakati tukole tuti. Mpa ku simu yo. Mteke simu kadi muno wange. Mukubire.
Okay.
Anti kati omanyi nti simu kadi yange simu enamba yange eri ku simu kadi. Kati mani nokola. Iraje. Soko njirire kako gawe njira. Nawe owulire nga weewuunyiza ogambe nti Jesus works in mysterious ways. Connector, tuteeke maaso awo.
Kagiteeke. Katayimirira. Gulawo.
Hello? Kale.
Kakati Anita ngenda soka mtwale Muserena. Oluvera mtwale mwanjenwa. I'm going to give her the What is this? Shishino? Hatile kuno kachukua. I think I should call Anita. Mugambe nditele. Ojile me taxi. Taxi against Ojirabi. Taxi against Ojirabi.
Taxi.
Banzi beke simu. I don't have any money on me.
So, when a taxi has few passengers, be on your guard. And again, mind your own business. Now, conmen love taxi cons for one reason. I mean, you simply hit the victim and get off the taxi before they can get you. Or, as in this last con, well, the victim gets off before they get you. And the rest is history. But I have an idea. What if the government was to come up with a law forcing all public places to have computerized cameras? I mean, then it wouldn't be that easy for these conmen to get away. But this is Uganda, and you need to be realistic. Now, we've all seen magic tricks. In fact, now I have this one small little magic trick for you. You see this coin? I'm going to make this coin disappear. Now pay close attention to the coin. Gone. Now, magic tricks are very common, especially with conmen. And this next magic trick makes bricks appear. Have a look at this.
But you know,
when the year draws to a close, most people look forward to one particular festival, Christmas. The most exciting part of Christmas is the opening of those special gifts from our loved ones. For Richard and his friends, this year, Christmas has come early. he got a gift and decided to put it into good use, buying a TV. Everything was fine until he met Felix and Dennis.
We have TVs and radios, zones are first class. I'm looking for television. Yeah. But a small one will do. You say I don't have so much money. This one here is the smallest TV we have right now. It's not. It's 250,000. Hey, I only have 150.
Customer, kati collaborate. Weze emitwalo 23 zokka. Eno TV yaja. Ichipana. Nensiri we bayitawo giraba.
Ensiri?
Yes.
Ola omupiira guno gwa Africa Cup. Olaba speed omupiira gye gudukiramu. Olaba omuddo nga wenyeenya we buti kukisaawe. Olaba obuviri ku ntumbo y'omusambi. TV eno sebo. Eyo. Eno. Ekifaananyi ekiri kuno sebo. Wonderful. Yes. Kali bachali bange bona bone kamwe. Bagenda kuchamuka. Wali matovu ate. But I can only add on 20,000. 20,000. Kakati sebo kola boti. Bring that 170,000 to Izemwao.
Hey, boss. That's TV you can what?
It does. Sometimes you have to be considerate. I don't know. Profit can not know. You should have. By the way, so what can be over? Come wing. You say he came for my sister's wedding. Is it Muko? Tell can give it Capitolo. Come in, what is it? Come away. Kativi. It's true for each. That is very good. That's very good. That is very good. Very good. Kati.
Oda be coming.
Today. As soon as I get the money, as soon as I get this television. Coming. But what is it? I said. Sasa emitwalo 17 TV njikulu. 17 zirete. TV njikulu. Are you sure? What is TV to you go ndete chintu. 17 mutwale chintu. Yes. Yeah. You take awali. No jije. Kwata. Yangu jirete. Yangu. 17. Yes. Later. Tujukube chi. Ate hopes zibade high. Nezifuka low. Munna. Ate akasule ntambulinde bwerere. So akasula. Aparking kateke box 7. Yes nyine 17. Kati sebo ne wano. Ne wano. Tuinayo che tuina. Goni tuinayo woofers. Kati woofer jolaba. Yo ya muziki. Ogena mu ewaka ekamwenge. No fundro muziki boti. Kuchalo bajategera nti gwa ave Kampala. Bakaita batya. Jeepers. Subwoofer. Mboka nimyo kuongera. Jeepers. Kati wano tuina ne ka DVD player. Kano. Kati na DVD player. Zanya bifananyi. Wow. Bibi no one. Nini Swaziniga. Rainbow. Budget libonna. DVD zino. Wamwe bamanya abantu bali. Film tuzina zino. Jetiri. Byonna. Jakitani. Uzanya neta anojoka. Ngayo DVD okola kinyi. Ate kano. Gondi. The video deck ezanya tape. Eno. Tape eno. Ezanya tape sebo. Yo ya mtwalo mwenda n'ekitundu. Are you sure? Inayo osobola. Gondi. Omaliza. Yes sebo. Simanya yo amalizia leti kintu mkwana leti kintu yes mpola yes sebo gira kako omanyi thank you ari sukazamu ka transport koka siwali naye wale tajagaliza ka TV mutabani bwacho kakati
kankesitulire omanyi oyinza okawa omuntu nakuyisa bubi mwebali kale kale
tibisoko gizeyo yangu wako wewalira ezimu mu Kampala nedduka takyajukira wawe eriri si bizimbe samala busamala
ajja kugwamu obusama
obusama bwo leka eri
I'm from Kampala. Madam. What? I brought a TV from where? From Kampala. Quality. Richard. Jimmy, you're back. TV. What is the pictures? TV. I brought a TV from Kampala. Got the football now. Tumulina. Got
This is a TV from Kampala.
This TV? The people who sold it to me in Kampala said, even when they serve the ball, you see the grass doing what? Waving.
Are you sure?
Yeah, quite images.
From Kampala.
Karaleche ne mangamba. Buno buviro bera ku ntumbwe. Nabo bulaba kiria. Kiria. Don't waste time. Let's see. Open and be see. Hey, banaba. Aba Salvador.
Hey.
Football.
Salvador.
Quality
images.
From Kampala. From Kampala. TV from Kampala.
Chichishim. What is this?
Is this some kind of a
TV from Kampala.
And so, for Richard, the hero's welcome had turned into a nightmare just in seconds. So, we're approaching the injury time. That in football terms means we're wrapping things up. If you have ever been conned, send us an email to tricksters@ntvuganda.co.ug or hit us up on Facebook. Tell us what you think. Tell us what's happened to you. This has been Tricksters. I'm Peter. Be careful. Ciao.
use a lot. Several mornings she shampoos my locks. Always have my back, she stand true to that. Real type of loving, thank you for that. Yo, run barefoot without no shoes and socks. Cause she keep herself clean, man, I got catch no rush. And she love me for real, man, I feel have no cash. And any little thing and from a splish, you splash. Yo, all this blinging is like you forgot. Use cheddar as the bait, then you recruit the rat. So we listen couple speech of Martin Luther chat. Dennis Brown, Bob Marley and some super cats. Yo, it seem like she live upside the Duke shop. Cause she don't have a scratch, it's only beauty spot. When one duty start is when one duty stop. 1 9 to 5, 1 5 to 12 o'clock. You see me?
This is NTV. This is NTV.
On today's edition.
This is NTV. This is NTV.
Winners and losers.
ELA members elected as opposition cries fall.
Wednesday evening, the 30th day of May 2012, and it is 9 p.m. and we are broadcasting live from our news studios here in Kampala. You're right on time for NTV Tonight.
Tonight, Uganda's representatives to the regional parliament are elected amidst drama and protest from the opposition.
And Liberia's ex-president, Charles Taylor, is finally sentenced for war crimes. But what are the implications of his conviction and sentence on the war against impunity in Africa? We would like to have your say. We would like you to have your say on this matter. So be sure to have your say on NTV Poll Tonight.
Our welcome to NTV Tonight, unpacking all the day's developments, starting right now with tonight's main headlines.
Justice done?
Former Liberian President Charles Taylor sentenced to 50 years for war crimes.
Also tonight, reprieve for Kampala youth.
400 groups set to receive entrepreneurship venture fund.
And free at last.
13 treason suspects freed after 3 years in confinement. A very good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on NTV Tonight. I am Faith Ariho.
And I'm Maurice Mugisha. You're watching NTV Tonight. Now, Parliament has elected 9 members to represent Uganda to the East African Legislative Assembly amidst drama with the key opposition party, FDC, boycotting the exercise.
All the 6 candidates endorsed the NRM sailed through the exercise, while the Democratic Party's Mukasa Mbide, UPC's Chris Opoke, and independent candidate Susan Nakauchi won the hotly contested race of 17 candidates.
The campaigns of the 17 candidates began this morning with all aspirants laboring to impress the voters as why they were the right candidates to represent Uganda.
I am the candidate nominated for the Democratic Party ticket. That is the vehicle that brought me here. I am mindful, honorable members, that those are vehicles. Others have boarded a yellow vehicle. Others are still stuck in some other vehicles. I want to thank you very much, both Honorable Mulengani, for all that I can do. Widening and deepening the East African cooperation. Madam Speaker, I can see I dedicated my life to this country, guided by the principles of transparency, accountability, and social justice for everyone without discrimination. We need to learn Kiswahili, we need to develop infrastructure, we need to work on issues like cattle rustling, and we need to have a politically united East Africa. In conclusion, please vote for me.
The campaigns drew drama in the August House as various camps cheered on their candidates.
If I don't finish, you know I have a pragmatic manifesto. Because I come from the center, not because I have a pretend ground, but because I have the mental support to attacking Arusha. Waheshimiwa waziri, waheshimiwa wabunge wa Uganda, wanahabari. My name is Nuswati Peru. In Uganda I am called Namazi. In the Eastern
But the curtains came down on the exercise this evening with this announcement of Uganda's representatives to the East African Parliament.
The members, I now declare the following members duly elected: Dan Kidega, Bernard Mulengani, Kennedy Sewaru, Dora Byamukama, Nusra Kiperu, Margaret Ziwa, Mukasa Mbide, Opoka Okumu, Susan Nakauki.
Jingo Francis, NTV Parliament.
Meanwhile, the leader of opposition, Nathan Nandala Mafabi, has decided to review the shadow cabinet and suspend all the MPs who defied the protocol they signed not to participate in the East African Legislative Assembly elections. The opposition, led by Mafabi, has agreed to boycott the EALA elections on reasons the Parliament and the NRM party had failed to conform to Article 50 of the East African Treaty that provides that all political parties represented in the National Assembly should have a representation at the East African Parliament. Agnes Nandutu has this report.
The Congress of the People has come back to the House. I think Milton Obote must be smiling in his grave.
As the NRM, UPC and DP parties celebrated in the August House for the EALA elections, FDC was in grief that they have been betrayed. The opposition, led by Nathan Nandala Mafabi, had signed a protocol to boycott the EALA elections on reasons that Article 50 of the East African Treaty had not been conformed to. But DP and UPC went ahead and nominated candidates to participate. And for that reason, the leader of opposition in parliament, Nathan Nandalma Fabi, has decided to crack a whip against all MPs of the DP and UPC parties who defied the protocol to boycott the East African Legislative Assembly elections.
For us, we have suspended our cooperation with them. We are not uniting together in parliament, and I'm sure our leaders out are going to do the same. And we're also reviewing our leadership in parliament. Within a few days, we shall come up with a position on leadership.
This is a ritual, not an election of any, by any degree. A very unfortunate ritual, and I think a dark Wednesday for the opposition.
That person in the names of Edward Kayondo is an agent of the NRM. So they want to make sure that they get 7 candidates in Yara, in Arusha. To hell with that. I have disassociated myself with those sham elections.
Whether the UPC and DP members are suspended from the shadow cabinet, they have achieved their goal and have representation at Yala. And FDC has lost out. The only chance they have is to go back on their knees and pray to God that the East African court nullifies this election. Agnes Nandutu, NTV Parliament.
Now, Liberia's ex-president Charles Taylor has been sentenced to 50 years in jail by UN-backed war crime court. Last month, Taylor was found guilty of aiding and abetting rebels in Sierra Leone during the 1991 to 2002 civil war. Now, the Special Court for Sierra Leone judges say the sentence reflected his status as head of state at that time and his betrayal of public trust.
Taylor, 64, insists he is innocent and is likely to appeal against this sentence, which could last up to 6 months. Taylor, wearing a suit and yellow tie, showed no emotion during the hearing when Judge Richard Lusek was delivering the ruling, where he stated that the accused had been found responsible for aiding and abetting some of the most heinous crimes in human history. The crimes, which took place over 5 years, including cutting off the limbs of their victims and cutting open pregnant women to settle bets over the sex of their unborn children, he said. The prosecution had wanted an 8-year prison term to reflect the severity of the crimes and the central role that Taylor had in facilitating them. But the judge said that would have been excessive, taking into account the limited scope of his involvement in planning operations in Sierra Leone. Taylor's sentence is likely to be served in the UK, which has offered to take him once his trial and appeal are completed.
Now, it is from that story that we engage you tonight in our NTV poll this evening. We would like to hear from you on this issue, so we're asking.
What do you think will be the implication of Charles Taylor's conviction and sentencing on the war against impunity in Africa? I repeat, what do you think will be the implication of Charles Taylor's conviction and sentencing on the war against impunity in Africa?
Well, tonight we are seeking your comments and not, of course, your yes or no answer. We are seeking your comments. So, how to have your say, do text us your comment to 8778. Please do leave a name and where you're texting from, and we shall also be reading some of your comments during tonight's newscast. Now, over 400 groups of youth from Kampala district have emerged successful in meeting requirements to access money from the Youth Entrepreneurship Venture Capital Fund that was allocated by the government in the last financial year. The fund that is being managed by Kampala Capital City Authority will see the youth groups receive 3 billion shillings under a revolving fund to help them start businesses to reduce the unemployment problem in the city.
I think we'll respond to those ones, then we shall.
Officials from KCCA's Directorate of Gender, Community Services and Production today unveiled a list of the successful applicants of the 16.5 billion shilling youth fund that government released to KCCA for job creation.
So the 432 is groups. The membership of those groups translates into 3,096 youths. So we are now going into the process of training. We have displayed the lists in all the divisions of the successful applicants, and we're beginning with the training the whole of next week.
The group of successful applicants was part of over 2,000 young people that applied for the fund. The project managers have allocated 1 million shillings to each group member, which means that 3.3 billion shillings will be disbursed to the youth groups in the first phase.
We think that we will be able to enable about 3,000, maybe 100 unemployed youths to access this money, which we are hoping will translate into a job.
The money disbursed under a revolving fund will be recovered after 1 year to enable the next lot of young people to access it. A number of stringent eligibility requirements have been laid down, one of which requires the applicants to be residing and doing business within the 5 divisions of Kampala. The youth fund that was supposed to be paid out earlier this year caused a number of youth leaders to issue threats of demonstrating naked and even plan to censure the finance minister. The money will be released to the groups in mid-June. Chris Ochamringa, NTV.
Now tonight, the state has lost yet again another treason case. 13 people, a journalist included, have today walked to freedom after 3 years in incarceration on charged with treason, a crime that attracts the death penalty. High Court Judge David Wangatusi found the accused not guilty, based on the fact that the evidence brought was full of lies, and that the leading witness Francis Anwa told court he lost his memory and could not remember the suspects who participated in the meetings in Nairobi and Chireka.
There was jubilation in court today moments after High Court Judge David Wangatusi acquitted 13 suspects accused of treason. Augustine Okello, a journalist with a private radio station in northern Uganda, and his co-accused burst into cheers and joy as they walked to freedom.
I only plead to the government, before arresting someone unnecessarily without digging a thorough investigation, to keep someone in prison for over 3 years, over nothing actually like this. It is not good, and I pray to government to consider those who are still in prison over such allegation.
The 13 are part of 15 people arrested in northern Uganda for allegedly holding parallel meetings as the Juba peace talks were going on in 2009. Court found evidence brought against the 13 full of fabrications after the lead witness Francis Anwa told court he lost his memories and could not remember the suspects who participated in the meetings in Nairobi and Kireka.
We are very glad that the justice system works. It wasn't even difficult for the justice system to see that there was no case. I implore the DPP to be more professional, to bring people to court when he must. When there is doubt, he himself must leave the case aside and let people do their work.
The suspects' lawyers have threatened to sue the state for illegal detention.
And we are going to file for damages for all the 15 people who have been falsely accused of these offences. And the government should pay at least 1 billion shillings per person.
We are now going to take a short break, but there is so much more ahead on NTV Tonight.
Inspectorate of Government releases 2011 report.
And on NTV Connect Tonight, we examine the role of Muslims in shaping the American culture. NTV Tonight continues after this short break. Stay tuned.
This is NTV. This is is NTV. This 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 is NTV.
What do you think will be the implication of Charles Taylor's conviction and sentencing on the war against impunity in Africa?
Well, a look at some of your comments tonight. An anonymous SMS here says, NTV, this is a lesson to all leaders who abuse human rights, and definitely it shows that no one is above the law.
And Katungulu Issa here says, we should be more focused here before we make conclusions. We should look at his leadership and what influenced all the actions during the regime.
All right, I'll quickly take one more here from Fiona, who says, NTV, Charles Taylor's sentence will not have any implication if the ICC keeps on selectively picking who should be tried and who should not. Well, we thank you so much for your comments so far. You still have some time to have your say. Do send your comments to 8778. Please do leave your name and where you are.
I'm moving on. The Inspectorate of Government has released its 26th report to Parliament, indicating an increase in arrests and prosecution of corrupt officials.
Over 5 billion shillings was served and 150 million recovered from the prosecution of corrupt officials by the Inspectorate.
During the period under review, 64 public officers were arrested for various offences related to graft and charged in the courts of law.
There is a steady improvement in the performance of the Inspectorate of Government.
Statistics indicate that the arrests have since increased from 12 in 2006 to 124 in 2011. Whereas prosecutions rose from 44 in 2006 to 154. Most of the complaints were on the recruitment process by semi-autonomous institutions.
Like universities, Makerere University, there have been complaints we have been receiving from there. Like Diary Authority, we have some projects where the recruitment system does not follow the public service recruitment system.
However, despite this achievement, the IGG feels let down by the Parliament, which has shelved the reports instead of debating them. He is also calling upon the President to expedite the process of appointing one more substantive deputy so that the office is duly constituted to effectively prosecute the corrupt.
But there is still one vacancy left of a second deputy, which we are asking that it should be constituted fully, so that we are not diverted from performing our work by talents such as we have been receiving in court.
This follows a ruling by the Constitutional Court which almost rendered them ineffective. In order to overcome the above challenges, the acting IGG is seeking an increase of both funding and personnel to the institution. Hilara Isiga, NTV.
Now, it does look like the pockets due to load shedding will soon be a thing of the past, as the final touches are being put onto the third turbine that will be switched on soon. Members of Parliament have also applauded Bujagali Energy and Salini constructors for doing their best they can to beat the extended deadline of making sure all the 5 turbines are switched on. Each turbine is expected to add 50 megawatts onto the national grid.
I would like to actually assure Ugandans, I think there is good amount of work done at Bujagali, and from the explanation and from what we saw, I think this goes to dispel the rumors and the speculations that machines that are being used are old, that the amount of power from Bujagali is not actually up to 250, but we saw with our own eyes every unit was actually up to 51.2 megawatts. That means this is the power that is actually now being given out by each and every unit.
Now let's take a look at more stories making the news across Uganda tonight.
Campaigns for the Ishaka Bushenyi parliamentary by-election have kicked off in earnest. The seat fell vacant following the annulment by court of Nasa Basajjabalaba's election as area MP. 4 candidates are vying for the position, including Basajjabalaba, representing the NRM party, Bwarare Robert and Chikure Ismail, both of whom are independents, and FDC's Odo Tayewa. The candidates traversed villages as they campaigned and reached out to voters.
I am confident that movement has structures in this constituency, and the majority of them are members of the NRM. So I ride more on the NRM support.
I'm not here to fight the government. I'm here to work for the people, and I think by working for the people, it means that you are working for the government. This is an election which I'm going to win very highly with a very big percentage. Because of the support I'm having, because of the vision I'm having for the people.
Nasa Basajjabalaba's election was cancelled following a successful petition by Tayewa, who argued that a week before the poll, Nasa and his brother Hassan Basajjabalaba donated 5.7 million shillings to a local church and organized a football tournament for which they staged a prize of a cow, things Tayewa referred to as voter bribery. Meanwhile, in Kampala, members of a group calling itself Concerned Citizens have demanded the release of one of their colleague, Sharifa Nachitende. Addressing journalists, the group said she was arrested in connection with the murder of police officer John Michael Ariong.
I was shocked to learn that Sharifa was in police custody, allegedly in connection with the death of Assistant Inspector of Police John Bosco Ariong. As concerned citizens, we fear for Ms. Nachitende's life.
They later stormed Central Police Station yet again and demanded an audience with DPC James Ruhweza.
This is it. Why are your women mishandling me? No, he's calling me. He's calling me. What is your problem?
They also handed a petition to both the Human Rights Commission and Director of Public Prosecution demanding the unconditional release of all suspects of various offences being held without charge. Finally, residents in Kamwocha, a Kampala suburb, were today left in shock after the body of a Danish man was found in his house 2 days after his death. Police who identified the man as Kemp Richard Klaus say he lived alone. They were alerted after residents reported that his house remained closed after 2 days and a television set from within was continuously on.
He had locked himself inside. As soon as we got information, we came in as police. I was the first person to get a call from the area LOC. So I sent a team of the Soto and detective to find out what has happened.
The body was later transferred to Mulago Hospital mortuary for a post-mortem.
Now, did you know the paper making and the science of pharmacy was innovated by the Muslims? In our 5th part of America Connect series, Sudhir Birhanga tonight takes us to Jackson, Mississippi at the International Museum of Muslim Cultures, where he explored several achievements and ideal contributions of Islam to the world.
It is a smooth 4-hour drive to Jackson, Mississippi from Memphis, Tennessee. The city is well built but laid back compared to other states like Memphis and Atlanta. Just within town, you get to see the International Museum of Muslim Cultures, the only one of its kind in the history of America that was opened in 2001. Close to 5 months after the museum was opened, the US was hit by terrorists on September 11th, a vilified action that left the management pondering its next move.
The next morning we came to work, a brick had been hurled into our window, smashing the glass. But interesting enough, we got a whole new influx of visitors. Ministers came with their congregation and support of the museum.
Despite the attack, the American government continued to promote equal rights for all.
We have a couple of Muslims, in Congress now. Municipal, local levels of government. You have judges, you've had mayors.
Inside the museum are the great contributions of Muslims to the Renaissance in Europe, America, and the world at large. According to the museum staff, Islam's advent stems in Mali, propagated by Tombouctou, whose legacy contributed to civilization. After the death of Muhammad around 632, 7,011 Muslim soldiers crossed from Morocco to Spain due to Christian invasion, but Muslim doctors were the first to separate the science of pharmacy from medicine.
So what that says is that it helps us now as African Americans here in America to now reassess what our children think and believe, because I'm an educator, and when you press African American children to be scholarly, to take serious their academics, they will tell you, many of them, is that that's acting white.
But also another contribution of Muslims to the world is Arabic numerals or algebra to zero, which was introduced by India.
It was the Indian people of India, but it was the Muslims that took that zero and included it in this Arabic number system.
But almost the entire museum is filled with contemporary African art pieces, regalia, and traditional belongings of Muslim legends, among others. For example, this is a leather material picked from Mali that was used to make yogurt and chan ghee during the ancient times. The pieces displayed here also originated from other countries like Ghana, Bilad, Sudan, which have immensely contributed to the American culture.
If there's one God, one humanity, so men and women, all men and women are thus equal before this, one God. They're equal and they're free agents, and they all are responsible, for managing.
But American Islam stems from Mali, which demonstrated the spirit of hard work that goes with passion and ingenuity that transcends into great things, but brings society together. These children, men and women, are at work like mites, and from mud they managed to erect the biggest and celebrated mud mosque in the world, Jen. The mosque prayer hall, which has 90 wooden pillars supporting its ceiling, can house as many as 3,000 people.
One of Islam's core values is respect for all humanity and brotherhood across all divides. But this phenomena has seen so many challenges in the recent times, and it is dying out.
Due to the past and present colonial influences around the world, some of the Muslim extremists use the religion that promotes peace for all to cascade the wrong message of extremism.
By way of the Prophet Muhammad, who is supposed to be the example for Muslim, there is nothing in the history that would actually support that.
When Muslims arrived in Spain, they utilized the books by interpreting them, and in history, more Qurans have been burnt than the Bible.
There is but one creator, and so thus there is one humanity.
History has also shown that the Muslims invented the art of paper making and made sure they preserved all the written pieces they came across.
Because if Muslims had burned those books, we wouldn't have the Greek classics in the West.
The International Museum of Muslim Cultures in Jackson, Mississippi remains a great symbol and a center of learning about Islam to demystify several negative myths about the religion. Sudhir Biarhanga, NTV.
Well, still there, bring us another riveting story in our series America Connect. Join us next week when Still brings us the final part of our America Connect series, this time on an aquarium in Georgia you must watch.
Now Joel Kamadi joins us to take us through business news. Joel, what should we expect?
Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Maurice. Now, tonight, find out why the reduction of interconnectivity rates may not automatically translate into reduction of call rates, according to the Uganda Communications Commission. All this coming up in NTV Business.
Representative of a Conservative party in Parliament. I am the president of a party in Parliament. If the report was given about how nominations were made, why shouldn't the Speaker have not given me the opportunity to say something if we don't have a sham Parliament?
This is NTV. 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 This is NTV.
Good evening, I'm Joel Kamadi and welcome to NTV Business. The reduction of interconnectivity rates may not automatically translate into reduction of call rates, according to the Uganda Communications Commission. The commission slashed interconnectivity rates between telecom companies from 130 to 113 shillings per minute, but according to UCC Chief Godfrey Mutabazi, the new rate is a reference and UCC cannot compel telecoms to lower their rates. Samuel Setumba has more.
Effective yesterday, the interconnectivity rate for telecom operators is 112 shillings per minute, falling from 130 shillings per minute. This rate is what each operator pays to the other when you call across another network. The first time there was a reduction, call rates dropped, but now the sector regulator says there is no guarantee this will happen this time round.
For us, we are after realistic prices. We are saying the customers should pay realistic prices because these investors do put in a lot of money in equipment, quality of service issues.
So the UCC will not compel the operators to cut call tariffs. Initially, the proposed rate after a consultative process to this end was 98 shillings per minute.
But as I said, we put some more information input and we came out with 113. And we thought that 113 is reasonable to both operators, all the operators that are affected.
Uganda is still far above Kenya, which is now at 60 shillings per minute in interconnectivity. The operators are calling on government to remove tax on a mobile handset to enhance penetration. Samuel Setumba, NTV Business.
Now, while family businesses in Uganda are believed to constitute the largest segment of small and medium enterprises, many still operate informally, a reality that continues to undermine their growth. As Reynolds John reports, experts are now calling for special training packages targeted at family businesses, given their dominance of the local SME business docket.
Part of enterprises that face perpetual casualties are those owned and managed by family units, according to experts, largely due to lack of concrete modern practices associated with day-to-day operations.
I think it is time to move away from the status quo, because back in the days, if your father had opened a business, especially in the Muslim setting, you'd realize that you'd simply run the business the way he has been running it, but at times it may not be the best way. So you ought to find out what is reliable or most important in the organization, or given the changes in the environment. So it becomes imperative to take on these trainings.
And in spite of remarkable entrepreneurial posturing, the Muslim fraternity are equally seen as an elaborate segment whose skills require sharpening if they are to shake off growing competition.
How do you market yourself? How do you put your product across? How about handling the stakeholders and the issues to do with the product, the pricing, and designing a competition strategy so that you remain relevant, you remain profitable, but you also remain a foregoing business.
These concerns emerge at a workshop for Muslim entrepreneurs engaged in the areas of services such as education, arranged by the IFC Schools program and lab marketing.
Because our competitive advantage as a country is also in education. We are not going to compete if we don't improve the way we are offering education. Forget about even the oil, forget about everything else. It all starts with the quality of the education system.
Reina Ojin, NTV Business.
Now, in the financial market, several counters posted a fall in stock prices, pulling down the all-share index by 7 points to 1,014. We have more in the financial market report. Now finally, NTV Business. Research in motion, reeling from sluggish BlackBerry sales, forecast a surprise operating loss for the first quarter, which saw its stocks fall as much as 15% in late US trading. JP Morgan, Chase & Co. and RBC Capital Markets have been hired to help the firm evaluate options, including forging partnerships, licensing its software, and looking at strategic business model alternatives. Research in motion is also attempting to streamline operations by reducing spending and headcount. An exodus of customers to Apple's iPhone and Google's Android devices has taken a toll on BlackBerry sales and profit over the past year, putting pressure on management to make changes. An operating loss would be the company's first since 2004, according to data compiled by Bloomberg. Analysts had estimated an operating profit of $261 million for the period, which ends June 2nd. The company's shares fell as low as $9.5 in extended trading following the announcement. The stock had already lost 74% of its value in the past 12 months. And that winds up NTV Business for tonight. Back to you, Maurice and Faith.
Thank you, Joel.
Thank you so much. We are taking another very short break, but Faith returns with the latest in sport.
This is NTV. 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 This is NTV.
Good evening and welcome to NTV Sport. Now, Uganda Cranes goalkeeper Dennis Onyango believes that he is fit to keep a clean sheet against Angola this weekend despite media reports that he has been missing in action for long. The Sundowns goalkeeper reported to the Cranes camp last evening, a few days to the team's departure to Angola this Friday.
Dennis Onyango admits he has not played enough games at his South African club Mamelodi Sundowns, but the Uganda Cranes goalkeeper believes he is on form to help Uganda to victory against Angola. The Cranes take on Angola this Sunday in Rwanda in the first leg of the 2014 World Cup qualifiers. Although he is likely to be coach Bob Williamson's #1 choice in goal on Sunday, Onyango says his counterparts Abedair and Hamza Muwonge are equally good.
It's not a guarantee that I have to play. It's the commitment that I have to put in, and the other guys have to push me, and they need also to show that they're ready to play for the nation, and I can't do anything about it. I just need to stay focused and do my part.
Meanwhile, coach Bob Williamson will announce his final squad to travel to Angola tomorrow ahead of the team's flight on Friday. Sam Mpoza, NTV Sport.
Now, Gulu Hawks are determined to end their quest for a place in Uganda's First Division Basketball League with an impressive show in the Second Division to warrant them a top 3 finish on the table. Players are eager to challenge the elite clubs for the champions' heap and places in the national team, as Moses Akena reports.
Blue Hawks are carrying out a series of rigorous training sessions, all aimed at boosting their intent to secure qualification to play in the National Basketball Premier League next season. This team, consisting of mostly players in formal employment, are facing difficulty in having enough time to practice, and this has limited their training time to at most 1 hour or less every evening at their court in Kawunda grounds. This has, however, not hindered them from keeping close to achieving their target of making the top league next season. These drills have helped them to 3rd position on the table with 10 points from 6 games, the 4 coming from their 2 wins last weekend against Sharing Youth and Kings away in Kampala. Gulu Hawks have won 4 of their 6 games, but they hope to improve on this performance when they play MBC Rocks and Uganda Christian University on Saturday and Sunday in Kampala this weekend.
We actually need to improve much because, as you see, the second division game has become a little bit tougher every year. So you can't just be fooling around, you know. You need to work hard. That's why we keep working hard every day.
You just have to play hard, aggressive defense. Something that coach used to call hard actually basketball.
We just look forward to winning all the remaining games, but we want to take it one step at a time.
The top 3 finishers in Division 2 will earn an automatic qualification to play in the 2013 First Division League season. Moses Akena, NTV, Gulu.
And finally, Brendan Rodgers has agreed a deal to become the new Liverpool manager. The 39-year-old will sign a 3-year contract at Anfield, and his appointment is likely to be officially confirmed within 24 hours. Now, Liverpool will pay Swansea City between $4 million and $5 million in compensation to secure Brendan's services. Former manager Ken Dalglish guided the Reds to 8th position in the Premier League and was 17 points from a Champions League qualification spot, despite winning the League Cup and reaching the FA Cup finals. In contrast, his successor Rodgers guided his Swansea side to an impressive first season in the top flight, including a 1-0 victory over Liverpool on the final day of the season. And that winds up NTV Sport for tonight. Thank you for watching. Let's now take a look at Thursday's projected weather prospects.
Well, our time is up, but before we go, let's take you back to tonight's poll question. And tonight we asked,
what do you think will be the implication of Charles Taylor's conviction and sentencing on the war against impunity in Africa?
well, a final look at some of your comments. Diana here says, NTV poll, I believe this is a wake-up call for African leaders to know that they are not untouchable and could pay for their injustices.
And Semiliki Luchalsia says it is a lesson to the ruling presidents that impunity in itself is not perpetual. It is a lesson that as you sow, you shall reap.
All right, we thank you once again for your responses to tonight's NTV poll question. Thank you so much.
I am Faith Eriho.
And I'm Maurice Mugisha. Good evening.
Good night.
This is NTV. 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 This is NTV.